Hello YouTube, it's Lynn from Perth in WA. Just thought I'd do another quick little update. A couple of things to tell you. One, I've been working busily out here this morning and it's probably mid-30s at the moment. What does the clock say? Yeah, 35. 25% humidity. I've just done a little bit more work up in the walled-in garden. I've moved a few things around. Mainly because I took one large plant down and had to find a spot for it. So it's somewhere in here. It's a big Hoya. So I've been moving plants for a specific reason, but we'll come to that when I get down a bit further. So a couple of little things just to show you. And one is the spike on my Erengis. Oh, is it Grandiflora? No, it's not Grandiflora. Yes, it is Grandiflora. So here it is. Huge. Very huge. Oops, I nearly broke it then. So you can see it's about 2 hand lengths for me. Don't know when it's going to flower. Hopefully soon. What else have I got to show you? Genting lipstick is still in all its glorious beauty. But this is why I've got the camera out today, mainly. And say hello to Mancorn Nugget. It's a Renanthera. And this is a really deep, I should say orange, but I keep describing it as a pumpkin colour, like a real deep Kent pumpkin. And it looks redder on film, but it's just a faint red blush in the centre or right deep in the throat of the labellum. It's absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, there's only one bloom, but this is its second blooming for me this year. I got it last May and it was in bloom then. And it's decided to do it again, and it was quite a surprise because I haven't been looking very closely out in the front shade house lately. I've been watering but not doing much in the way of looking and examining. And I went out there a couple of days ago and I thought, oh, something's gone down over there, it doesn't look good. And as I walked up, it was this little beauty just starting to open. But because of the colour, I thought it was something like the leaf had gone yellow and died. But no, it was this a wonderful bloom. It is very mildly perfumed. I'm going to just put it off screen at the moment and smell it. Yeah. Earlier today when I was watering, I was thinking, oh, what's that smell? And it was like early this morning when it first released its fragrance, I thought, oh, a bit like mothballs, but it's a little bit more like a Cattleya smell right at the moment. But not the most pleasing perfume, but he needs a pleasing perfume with this beauty. Look at that. Though perfume is always very welcome. The Singapore Delight, the spike has elongated even more. And lots of branches now coming off and starting to display buds. This spike, I'm not sure when I did the last video, it's in the last 10 days anyway. The spike was down here when I did the last recording, so at least 4 or 5 inches lower, and now it's about 4 or 5 inches higher. So it's really coming along. Just the last few blooms, as the spikes sort of just keep dying back, I cut them off. But I don't want to cut them off, they're just too pretty. In actual fact, the flowers, the colour, well, they're a bit paler than the Mancorn, but not unlike. And another update on the, what's it called? Guatemalensis. Just look at these. I'm going to have to maybe start easing them upright, but I might wait till they get a little bit bigger just in case I break them off. That's powering on. Okay, and the big news is, ta-da! I have to pan out backwards, otherwise you'll never get to see this. This is, we've nicknamed it the bird cage, or at least that's what the guys in the factory that dipped it in the, what do you call it, whatever they do to make it anti-rust. That's what they nicknamed it, or they called it. So we're calling it the bird cage. Now, so you can see the frame. Now, this, it comes, I'm trying to measure. It's about 2 inches taller than I am. Oh, it's a lot wider than me. It's 3 times as wide as me. The width, and this is the width, just a bit wider than me, maybe 1.5 times my width, and I'm quite slight. So yes, this is the cage, the bird cage, and this is going to be my hothouse when it's ready. And I'm just panning around now to show you the cladding. So this is what's going to go on. It's yeah, I can't really see. There's too much light on the cladding, and yeah, can't really see it. But that's the cladding, and that's going to be cut to fit. So it will be completely enclosed in that cladding to make it leak proof, well, proofed of everything really, because it's going to be enclosed to keep in the humidity, the warmth, and the cool when I get a cooler in there as well. So my friend who made this, and he's very clever, my friend who made this said it's going to be too hot to actually do anything with it until just after New Year, when the temperatures may start getting into the high 20s instead of into the high 30s. So it's going to be another week at least before it starts to be clad. So yeah, so it's been galvanised, it's had an acid bath. Once the coating's put on, I'm ready to go. I've taken a lead from the plug on the wall here, and that's going to go up, 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 over the top and down. I don't know if you can see it dropping down in the background over there. So that will be for my electrics, which we'll have to sort out. And I'll end up getting a humidistat, temperature gauge, and they will automatically turn off my little, what do you call it, stuff that sends up the humidity, my humidifier. Oh, the joys of getting old, I tell you. So that's what's been happening this week. And I'm just off out now to Christmas dinner to a friend's. It's a bit of an early Christmas dinner, but I'm going there anyway. And everything is still looking nice and green and lush. I'm really, really looking forward to getting my mounts, and these are all my mounts here, into continuous humidity. I'll still have to sort of keep the ground wet. Actually, let's have a look at this clock. This one's a bit different over here. This one says below 30 degrees at the moment, because we're in shade now over here, and the humidity is just under 50. So that's about the best that my mounts can expect for the moment anyway, and I'm surprised that we've even got 50%. That's probably down to me with the way I've organised my plants and the green imitation grass that I've got on the ground now, because this is actually wet. I'll walk on the concrete and you'll see my footprints. That's how wet it is. You can see, I hope you can see my footprints down there. So it holds quite a bit of water, and that just evaporates over the day. My water comes on 4 times a day for 3 or 4 minutes, and that just keeps it moist. And occasionally I'll throw some water down from the hose on it just to make sure it's nice and wet. I'll just see if I can give you a look at the stephanotis. So when I was working out here earlier this morning, I was actually working up into the stephanotis, moving it around a bit and moving my cymbidiums around, and it just smelled heavenly. It was wonderful working amongst that. And while I'm talking about cymbidiums, how about I give you a couple of tips? I'm just going to show you something which I've learned from my time at the Cymbidium Club, including my time as president there, which is over. But here's quite a big Cymbidium here, a reasonable one. And for those of you who live in Australia, in the heat, now at the end of January, when we're starting to get really hot weather, now is the time to start dumping iced water, and yes, I said iced water, late at night or late in the evening on your Cymbidiums, because this is what sets the spikes for next year. So I've done it once, and I've got big blocks of ice in the freezer to cool down my water tonight, because the water never really gets cold here in the summer. It's always like 23 degrees if you put a thermometer in it. So that's the first tip. Iced water at night for about 2 weeks toward the end of December, early January. So if your Cymbidiums aren't flowering for you and they're in plenty of light, try the ice water trick. The next bit of advice I'm going to give you is, if your Cymbidium is very full of leaves right in the centre, and you've got some old bulbs that have flowered previously, or that are sort of the older type bulbs. Now where my thumb is there's an old spike there. So you can see I've taken away most of the leaves around there. I've just left one. And this is one thing you can do to help give your Cymbidiums more light, is to just defoliate just a little bit around the old bulbs that won't flower again. Just take off some of their leaves and open it up in the middle, and that allows more light to enter, and thereby gives your Cymbidium much more light, which is what they need. And they need a minimum of 6 hours of sunlight a day, whether that's at 50% shade or out in the open. So once it hits 30 degrees and above, they should not be out in the sunlight. They should be under shade or in dappled light. So there you go, a couple of Cymbidium pointers for you. Hope that helps all you Cymbidium growers. And I'd like to just wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, if that's what you do at this time of the year. If not, enjoy the holidays anyway. But everybody, it's New Year for everyone on the 1st of January, so I hope everyone has a wonderful, happy, COVID-free New Year, and hope you all stay safe and happy. So I'll see you in the new year. So everyone take care. Bye now.